It's hard to separate Barnabas from just the relationship I've had with Lori Jo for many years. Probably 25 or more years ago, I was singing with a group called Groders and Beal, doing rock vespers, and she was working at JQ, and we had a lot of partnership through that. And then she also was involved with Holland Teen Ministry. I was on staff at Christ Memorial Church in the late 80s, early 90s, and part of that community. So we just worked with students together just in this community, and we continued to run into each other, and I'd hear more and more about the things that she was involved in and things she was doing. And then when Barnabas started, I also in the last several years have been at Central Wesleyan Church, and they partner with them and support them in their ministry. And she and I and Michelle and Rachel Patmos and others have partnered with students, and we've been working with kids and walking alongside, doing ministry together in this area. The ability that they have to walk alongside young people is remarkable because they give boundaries, they understand the issues that teens are going through, they have tremendous compassion, but they also are firm, and their rules are clear, and their love is evident, and they want to walk students through a process of growth and development. Knowing a lot of the same students from the different schools that we both work in is we just continue to run into each other. We've worked with a lot of the same students, and we go to church and attend church together, and they will come to our ministry and help us, and they've spoke at it, and they've mentored students that we've worked with, and we share a lot of common ground working with teens. I really believe that their vision and mission is to lead people to Christ, and young men and women to Christ, and I really think that their deepest desire is for every kid to encounter Jesus, and every student to have an opportunity to meet Jesus where they're at, but not leave them in that spot, but move them toward health and renewal and redemption. They want to bring health and healing to their relationships and their families, growing and deepening relationships and mentoring, but ultimately to lead them to know Jesus and learn more about Him. Well, I think with students today, because they're so well connected with social media, with texting, people know who to trust. The word gets out with that community of students, any students, that there are people out there that are working with them. I think parents also want and are seeking resources. I think schools, especially schools where kids are struggling, counselors and therapists and different people, they have a network. And Barnabas is a very critical piece of that network. So there's referrals that are made, there's ways that Barnabas can have access to students. The places that they go and the places they hang out are wonderful opportunities for students to be known. And so I think even the organic way of getting students involved and to know about this program is probably the most effective, as well as just the programs that they provide once the student hears about it. There's no question that this is a Christian organization. There's no doubt that their first priority is to represent Christ in this ministry and in the relationships that they create with students. I think the effective staff and the effective volunteers, the training that they get in how to communicate with a student to disarm them. They perceive authority to be coming at them and to be a negative thing. But if you have an effective way to show that you care, to show that you're real, I think they do that very well so that students will trust the people from Barnabas. And the intention is to become close and have relationships with them. So then you walk alongside these students in their life. You don't take them out of their life, you help them and equip them as you walk alongside them. Mentoring is the most effective way to truly disciple a student or a person. Finding the people and the resources here, and there's all kinds of articles written about Barnabas. There's the website. Many ways to get involved with Barnabas. You can pray for the volunteers and the staff. You can pray for the students that are part of this ministry. You can give financially to support, even buying gift cards for students so that they can go, and many of these kids have limited resources, and buying gift cards for this ministry so that students can go out and have a cup of coffee with their mentor is valuable. So financial giving as well as volunteering and going through the training and becoming a mentor is an incredible privilege. I do what I do because I came from and grew up early in my life in a non-Christian home. And I happened to be in a hospital, and the nurse that was attending me told me about Jesus. And that completely shifted not only my life, but it affected my entire family. So I know what I've been saved from. I will never take for granted my salvation and the fact that God pursued me even as a child in a hospital in Chicago. And so now I want to live my life sharing that, because everyone deserves an opportunity to hear about Jesus, and we need to be owning that and giving our lives out to people and developing relationships so that people can know Christ and know the life that you can have in Christ. I am honored and feel greatly privileged to not only walk alongside with Barnabas in ministry, but to also know them as friends and to see the impact that they have on this community. And it is a beautiful thing, and it is just the beginning. I truly believe that God has so much more for this ministry, and I'm excited to see where it goes from here. I think she cares deeply. I think she gets it because she's lived it herself. I think she has a wisdom and a groundedness that students need. She has discernment in her deciding about volunteers and staff. I'm just proud of the work that God is doing through her.